start off by giving our honor and glory to
Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Ba'Shem Kakwadash.
Double honor to our elder apostles and elder bishops, the great millstone who well. Peace and blessing, house of David the elect. All right, we are the GMS Mississippi Camp. All right, here to prophesy the downfall of America, man. All right, this place was prophesied in the scriptures, man. And also we're here to wake up our people, all right, the 12 tribes of Israel, all right, who are known today as the so-called Negroes, West Indians, Haitians, Dominicans, Guatemalans, Panamanians, Puerto Ricans, the Cubans, the North American Indians, Seminole Indians, the Argentinian, the Chilean Indians, Colombian, the Uruguayan, and the so-called Mexicans. All right, collectively, these make up the 12 tribes of Israel, man. It was prophesied pursuant to Ezekiel 37 chapters, all right, to wake up in the last days. But we also hear to prophesy the downfall of that place that held those 12 tribes captive, man. All right, go ahead.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 18, starting in verse 20. Rejoice over her, thy heaven, and ye holy apostles.
Who is that her? Who is that her? It's Babylon, man. Babylon. All right, all throughout the scriptures. Somebody's phone on. All right, all throughout the scriptures, all right, America is being prophesied to be destroyed in the Bible, man. All right? All your life you've heard words like Armageddon. All your life you've heard words like the apocalypse. That were in that time. There's a place in the Bible that was written thousands of years ago, aforetime, all right, that was prophesied to be destroyed now. Now we're living in that time. All right, go ahead, bro.
Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for the Most High have avenged you on her.
Yep.
And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone.
Yeah, you got a great millstone, right? Because in the ancient world, you have manufacturing plants. All right, you had actual grinding stones to grind corn into powder, to grind grapes, all right? To squeeze grapes and olives and corn and all those things, man. So that was a millstone, like a grinding stone. Go ahead.
And cast it into the sea, saying.
Because the Most High is all about examples. The Most High is all about we got similes, and he's all about visuals. So the Most High said, just as this angel is going to cast this millstone into the sea, go ahead.
Thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down.
Thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down. That's how you get something very heavy. All right, and you drop it in the ocean. And the impact that it has when it drops in the ocean, man. That ripple effect, that big splash. That big splash.
The water coming up, it's like that mushroom cloud.
And the water coming up, that's that mushroom cloud, man. Like you saw that movie, Norbit? What's his name? Respucia. She dropped in that pool and had that big splash. That's how that millstone dropped in that ocean. That's how 200 million missiles are going to fall on America and create the impact like the elder Kazak said, man. You gonna say something, Elder Bud? Oh, you got it, brother.
And shall be found no more at all.
It shall be found no more at all. So Esau's not. Say it again.
I just think it'll be utterly destroyed.
Hey, we are prophesizing the downfall of America, and America's about to be a desert, man. And you was holding some Elder Kazak. Can a brother get Jeremiah 51:7? You was holding some too, though. All right. You got your piece up, bro.
2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 40. I'm going to read 40 down to 43. The great and mighty winds shall be lifted up full of wrath, and the star, that they may make all the earth afraid, and them that dwell therein, and they shall pour out over every high and eminent place an horrible star.
And what's that horrible star? That missile, man. Those ICBM missiles, man. Intercontinental ballistic missiles, man. All right? Great darkness is what to come to the society, man. All right?
And goes back to the 24th chapter about the stars falling from heaven.
Yep. Go ahead.
And they shall pour out over every high and eminent place an horrible star.
Why is it a horrible star? Because I thought when you saw a shooting star, all the children got excited. Hey, it's a shooting star. Because no, this horrible star is the missile. It stings. It stings, man. All right, it's a dreadful star because of the impact. All right, go ahead.
It's the movie The Day After.
Yeah, tomorrow?
The Day After Tomorrow, when you got the children sitting down at school, and they see the missiles coming out of Mars and, different places where they was at. They was looking up.
Wow, was it The Day After Tomorrow?
I'm not sure, but it's one of them.
It probably was a horrible star.
Fire and
Look,
hail.
'cause I'm sorry, brother. You gotta understand. The prophets, they spoke what they saw within the context of their language.
Yeah.
So the word missile was not in the Hebrew tongue. All right?
And it looks like a shooting star and it's shooting
Yep.
across from one end of the world to the other end of the world.
It does. It does, man. Go ahead.
Fire and hail and flying swords.
Hey, fire and hell and flying swords, man. What the fuck? What in the world is a flying sword, man? Like a really great mighty man got some swords and just no. The flying swords are missiles, man. All right. Go ahead.
And many waters,
And many waters, you know.
that all fields may be full, and all rivers with the abundance of great waters.
Yep. And you can expound on that if you want to.
I mean, that's the lake of fire.
Hey, you. Yep. You want to hold us something?
No, I'm gonna get your precept and I'll jump in there.
Yeah, it's 2 more
I'm
verses.
sorry, brother.
You want to get yours?
No,
No,
hey,
go ahead,
we
read
can
on,
get
baby.
it. Hey, you got the lamb chops, man. Hey, you gotta get out there and beat off that lamb chop, man. And this is that heavy meat, man. All right.
Bible good shot. I'm gonna read it through again just to
Yep.
show it's talking about metaphors.
Yeah, get that context.
All right, verse 41 again. Fire and hail and flying swords and many waters, that all fields may be full, and all rivers with the abundance of great waters. And they shall break down the cities and walls, mountains and hills, trees of the wood and grass of the meadows, and their corn.
And that goes right into Joel the 2nd chapter. You know. Go ahead.
And they shall go steadfastly unto Babylon and make her afraid.
Woo.
Where were you at again, bro?
I'm saying that just 15, that's verse 43.
Yeah, too.
Hey, and there you go, bro. Towards Babylon to make her afraid. It's those missiles, man. Something so impactful. Most High revealed it into the visions and the minds of the prophets 2,000 years ago, 2,300 years ago, 3,000 years ago. Are these men still on earth 3,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, and saw the future, man? Because it's that dreadful. All right, that's why they showed the movie The Knowing, right? And they had a picture in the movie Knowing. He walked into that shed house, right? And it was a picture like of Ezekiel. He was pointing at a chariot. He was pointing at a scroll. They had the secrets of the end time.
Said the secrets, right?
Yep.
And this is Ecclesiasticus 39 and verse 1. But he that give his mind to the law of the Most High,
Yep.
and is occupied in the meditation thereof,
Yep. His servants.
will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient and be occupied in prophecies.
Occupied in prophecies. So that's our job. Occupied in prophecies, man. All right.
Verse 2, he will keep the sayings of renowned men, and where subtle parables are, he will be there also.
Yep.
What Elder Kazak just brought out, that's a parable.
Stars.
Yep.
Blind sword.
Flying swords. Verse 3, he will seek out the secrets of grave sentence.
And the secrets of grave sentence, man. And if it said grave, G-R-A-V-E.
G-R-A-V-E.
So grave is like a serious matter.
Yeah,
You will seek out the secrets of grave sentence.
that's right.
America being destroyed and secretly be called Babylon, and it's a grave sentence, man.
That's right.
All throughout the scriptures.
Life and death.
Life and death, man.
Right.
All right.
And be conversant in dark parables. But the point is, and where subtle parables are, he will be there also, be able to speak.
Yep. So the parables. You know, that was like, yes, sir.
No, that was it.
All right, so yeah, precept too, right?
Don't be shy, I got the Jeremiah 29.
Okay, come on.
This Wisdom of Solomon 8, verse 8. If a man desire much experience, she knoweth things of old and conjecture it aright what is to come.
Hey, there's a spirit. Really, that's Yahweh Shai something with you, man. Even back then. So the spirit of Yahweh Shai was dealing with men back then, and secretly that was us back then. I want to make people believe that these things were revealed unto men like Jeremiah. It was revealed to men like Ezra, Isaiah, Habakkuk, Hosea, Amos. America's gonna be destroyed. Joel. They saw it, man. They saw it, and that's scary. That's scary. That some brothers, their wives, I had dreams about the end times, and his wives will wake up crying. You know, you might wake up shook up, man. Your children. All right, because the times is about to come now. It's scary, man. All right.
That's it.
Yeah.
On the move, about to lift up. When Jean woke up out of a dream, I thought she was kind of she was crying, I think, or something like that, because she seen the destruction of. I guess she seen how the get destroyed. I guess destroy America really.
Yep.
Something like that.
Remember that?
But she had that dream. She woke up. She was frightened. She was scared, really.
Yep.
And then they said some women, some of the brother's wives, had them type of
They had them
dreams.
dreams, man.
Can I bring out real quick?
Yep.
This is Zazma said that.
Yep.
And this is Daniel chapter 8 and verse 27. You know what? Let me start at verse 26. This is Daniel 8 and 26. And the vision of the evening and the morning which was told is true. Wherefore shut thou up the vision, for it shall be for many days. Now this is the first point. And I, Daniel, fainted and was sick certain days. Afterward I rose up and did the king's business, and I was astonished at the vision, but none understood.
Yep. I was astonished at the vision, but not understood. But just like Ezra, he was sick to his stomach, man. All right, the thing's about to come to America. You better hope, pray, and fast. The Most High has mercy on you, man.
This man said he was exhausted and he fainted.
And these were strong-minded men.
Exactly.
We're feeble, but our forefathers, they were strong-minded men.
And back in Wisdom of Solomon 8, verse 8, if a man desire much experience, she knoweth things are old, and conjecture aright what is to come. You know, you go to the word conjecture, it goes into like properly judge, you know? And it says, she knoweth the subtleties of speeches and can expound dark sentences.
And they're going to show you that the Most High doesn't deal with the masses. Why does the word subtle parables and secrets keep popping up, man? It was only meant for a select group of men to get it. That's why he told Ezra, I only reveal this to men who are like you. You know?
And you see, like just say for example, Sakari, they come out with these wayward doctrines. You see, Star Apostles and Elders, and sincere I keep on down, they get on it right there and there, defending the gospel, man. So that goes into the subtleties of speeches. You know through the spirit somebody's going off, they're not teaching sound doctrine.
You know, the heavy part about it, if Great Millstone didn't do it, with the apostles, no one would say nothing.
That's right, man. It's true. And that's the nature of Babylon, man. Everybody is an enabler. They bring that same energy in Israel, do as thou wilt. You know, that's their thing, you know. But how do we know what's right or wrong? You know?
It says she foreseeth signs and wonders and the events of seasons and times.
And she foresees signs and wonders. We just had a blood moon. Y'all one more way into that. So, hey, that's the spirit of wisdom, man. But it's all leading to one big event. And that's America being destroyed, man. You got your other breakdown? Your other stuff?
This is going to Jeremiah. 7. It states, Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations are drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad.
What does it mean to have drunken her wine? The nations kind of follow her philosophies, right? That's why we have that conflict, what's that, Taiwan and China? Right, Taiwan doesn't want to be under the authority of China because Taiwan had experienced democracy. Where did they get democracy from, though? All right? They got it from Babylon, man. All right? That was just an example. Then that scripture reminds me of Ezra's, where the scripture said, what? Woe be thou to Asia, Egypt, all right, because you have made your cities like her, and allowed your daughters to go whoredom just like Babylon. All right, that's what it means when it says, thou has made all the earth to drunk. You've westernized the whole world, man. You've westernized the whole world. You know, I look up different things. Never mind, I just look the piece up, man. You get more on that?
We bring this out because the statement Elder Zach made regarding if apostles didn't say nothing, you know what I'm saying? Nobody else can do it.
I think he wanted this first. He wanted this first.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 94, starting verse 16. Who will rise up for me against the evildoers?
Hey, we're the stand-up guys, man. All right? Everybody in Babylon, they're enabling. Because now it's like a bad vibe if you say something negative about someone else's lifestyle. All right, now you're the antagonist if you say this person is doing something wrong, and that mindset has trickled over to Israel, man.
And that mindset has really fallen on our women. You can't even have a legitimate conversation about your opinion because they take it so serious, and the first thing they say, you can't judge. Well, if you don't judge, how do you know right from wrong? If you don't judge, what is your standard? That doesn't make sense.
Yep. You said it, brother.
Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity?
Like, who's actually going against Esau full throttle, man? Who's going against the elites, man, in every facet of our life? Like, we're not just truthers, all right? We're going against the whole demonic system, man, all right?
First,
Unless the Lord Yahweh had been my help, my soul had almost dwelt in silence.
Yep, yep.
1 Corinthians 4:9. For I think that the Most High have set forth us, the apostles' last,
Yep.
as it were appointed to death. For we are made a spectacle unto the world, and to angels, and to men.
Hey, the apostles are starting with the elder apostle Tahar. All right, even going back to Rabbi Abba Business, man. All right? All right, that's the apostles that the Most High set up last. Because prior to that, you had the Booker T. Washingtons, the Marcus Garveys, you had the Black Panther parties, all right? You had these different activists, right? But all of their doctrines and all of the everything they stood for, it basically went to naught, man. Pursuant to Acts, all right, where it said these men deal with the Most High, you're gonna have to deal with the Most High if you deal with these men. But if they're not, then what they have going on is basically gonna zero out, man. It's gonna basically be destroyed. So the Most High said that the apostles last because we're the real deal, man.
Yeah, like those other groups you named, they basically had a zeal, but not a
For the knowledge, you know.
And this is back in Jeremiah 51:8. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her. Take balm for her pain.
Hey, Babylon is suddenly falling, man. Howl for her. Take balm for her pain. You know, like at one point you had the bailout package, the stimulus package. So I take a balm for her pain, man. All right. Now the public schools, children don't even have free food, man. All right. Infrastructure mess up. And that's how you know Babylon, and they said this on that 60 Minutes little footage about America. They said that America thinks that she has the same impact that she used to. Because America basically made threats to certain countries and stuff. And the narrative is basically saying, America, you don't have the same impact, you kind of barking us no more. You know, in so many words, like, y'all don't have the same big dog status no more.
Yeah, America like an old nigga talk about what he used to do.
Yup, yeah.
You know?
Everybody feeling that shit no more, man.
I'm gonna show you.
I'm scared of you, nigga. What can you say old folks talking about back in my days? All right.
Remember Friday, when Smokey said, Debo, you don't go around the corner doing that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't bully them other niggas on the other street.
You can only do it to people you know.
That's why Cuba says we say I'm strong. Because China saying, look, China, I forgot what the diplomat or something. America intervened in the situation in Taiwan. He said it's going to be Armageddon. He said it 3 times. It's going to be Armageddon, 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 man. All right?
In the spirit, that's confirmation.
Yeah. 3 times completion, man.
This is back in Jeremiah 51:8. If so be, she may be healed.
And so, but she's not going to be healed, man. Because every kingdom has a rise and a fall.
Right. And all your stimulant packages is not doing nothing for the economy. All it's doing is devaluing the dollar.
Inflation.
Inflation and pushing what the elite want is what? A digital system anyway.
Because it just so happens that as the gas price is rising, you're seeing advertising about Bitcoin currency. You know, simultaneously, man. So it's all orchestrated, man.
Yeah.
All right?
Verse 9. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed.
Yep.
Forsake her, and let us go everyone into his own country.
Because America is a merchant city. All right, everybody came to America. By everybody, I mean all the nations are here in America to make money. All right, that's why you have the Arabs here. All right, which are Ishmael. That's why you have Elam. It's either they're straight up entrepreneurs and they have businesses, or they came to America to get educated, so called, and to make money.
Just a couple months ago, I have an Elamite, or I had an Elamite neighbor. And he was packing like crazy. And I was like, yo, where you going? Back to India. You know, he's going back to India.
It's over with, man.
Yeah.
We're shutting down shop.
That's right.
Hey, can somebody hold Isaiah 13 about the Arabs should not pitch it there? All right.
And back in Jeremiah 51:9, and let us go everyone into his own country, for her judgment reached unto heaven and is lifted up even to the sky.
I think that goes back to 2nd Ezra, the 8th or 9th chapter. Yeah. Hey, your judgment has reached the Most High. He's discontent with the odor of wickedness, man. It has reached his nostrils, man. All right, now it's about to be great judgment. And you have to understand the extension of mercy the Most High has had on his people. The Most High has been telling his people for literally over 50 years about what's about to happen to Babylon, man.
And that's why he's coming down so hard on them.
Yeah.
You know, we had a father figure in your household, you know, he would continue to tell you, look, stop doing this, stop doing that. But he's rebuking you through a verbal correction. But when he comes down with that rod, it's gonna hurt extremely bad because he's been talking to you for about 2 weeks now. You know?
It's gonna hurt.
It's gonna hurt.
You know?
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 13, starting verse 19. In Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldeans, excellency.
And the Chaldeans are really the international bankers, the elites. They said the glory of kingdoms because every other kingdom modeled their kingdom after Babylon, man. All right? That's why I said the image, except the image of the beast. You know, the reflection of Babylon. Everybody knows English. You know, I watch certain little discussion platforms about different people's mindset, like a show called Jubilee, it's a YouTube page called Jubilee. And on Jubilee, they have a show called Middle Ground. And basically, you'll see that everybody has adopted a Western mindset. It's literally like, it's poison. Again, one Jewite chick, it was these women that was debating against their mothers. And that was like, is marriage important? That was a topic. And a little Evite chick, she never had children, and she about to get her tubes tied, but she was like, basically my career, my happiness is more important than having kids. She's like, I don't want kids. Like all these millennial women, and then when she said that, the other woman heard her, she just kind of cried, like, these women have, like, you totally neglected your nature to pursue the energy of Babylon. Like, you getting your tubes tied, you didn't even have any offspring to pursue your career. And like, you can't reproduce that. If you don't reproduce, who's coming after you?
America literally has these other countries going after strange flesh, man.
Yep.
Through philosophy.
Through philosophies, man.
It's really Satanism.
Yeah, that's all it is.
That's Satanism because that's anti-Messiah.
Yeah.
You know, because Yahushua comes in the volume of the book, and within the volume of the book, especially for Israel, it's commandment to be fruitful and multiply.
That's right.
That's going directly against that.
Yeah.
You know?
And America, man, it's like gangrene, man. You know, if you don't remove it, it's gonna constantly spread till it just destroys your body. You're gonna be dead. You know what I mean? So unless this place is removed, man, it's just gonna destroy everything.
And how does gangrene look? It's black. It's black and it has that sweet, sour odor to it. And you are rotten out.
You might have to get wisdom of Psalm 14 because you said America, how you gonna strange flesh. It goes into that pre-destruction mindset. Going back to the time of Noah, it also went into the fouling of souls. See, these are the fouls. Once you adopt the mindset of America, your soul is defiled.
Yeah.
Now, granted, you do have to get out there and work, but when you neglect having a family to pursue a career, when you neglect reproducing with the opposite sex to be in a situation with the same sex, your soul is defiled. Don't you know that you got the average so-called black woman is bisexual, man? The average so-called black woman is bisexual. The average so-called black woman doesn't mind sharing a bed with another man and a woman.
I wouldn't be surprised if the smallest percentage now is homosexual people. It is the smallest. I never checked the stats.
But like you said, pretty much, Westernization is just a TV-friendly way of saying Satanism.
Yeah.
It's really Satanism.
Do as thou wilt.
Yeah, they say Westernization, Hellenization, but it's really Satanism. That's why Esau is pretty much coming out like he's all about Satan. Like this whole Luke 9, Travis Scott, he pretty much tells the world this is what I'm about.
The introduction to Satanism is freedom.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then when that freedom is basically, I'm liberating you from your religion.
Thou shalt not surely die.
That should not surely die. But then once I get you to deviate from your God, now I'm getting you to the reality of what you're really into, which is really Satanism. But the beginning phase of Satanism, like the brothers get into, is really deviating from your God, which is freedom, so-called freedom.
And see, the standard of Yahweh Hashem al-Shah puts the shackles on your flesh.
Yep.
But when Eve did what she did, those shackles was removed.
Yeah, and a lot of so-called black women are witches. But they'll openly tell you.
Yeah.
And so they into those rituals, you know, they're straight up, and this goes right into their spirit, man. All right, so we're at a pre-destruction mindset, man, because it doesn't produce. It only destroys, man. So we know what time it is, man. That's what we call the watchmen. You watch the times, right? The watchmen know what time it is, man. All right, go ahead. Whoever was reading.
Back in Isaiah chapter 13, verse 19. In Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldeans' excellency, shall be as when Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah.
Quick quiz question. How did the Most High overthrow Sodom and Gomorrah, man? Fire and brimstone, man. So what the prophet is saying, what Isaiah is saying, how you say Yeshaya, what he's saying is that the way the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah as an example of wickedness, that's how the Most High is going to overthrow Babylon, man.
Right.
See, you niggas, a lot of you Israelite camps, you don't want to believe that this is actually America.
And that proves that kingdoms are reincarnated.
Yeah.
Because why is America going to be destroyed the same way as Sodom and Gomorrah? Because it's the same spirit.
But did it not say in Revelation 11, the spirit which is spiritually Sodom and Egypt?
Exactly.
All right, you got straight cities like Memphis, New Orleans, San Francisco, Atlanta. It's basically Sodom. Vegas, Sin City. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Right? It's everything. That's really a byproduct of the saying, "Do as thou wilt."
Yeah.
The brother said, Westernization is a euphemism for Satanism. You know, when you say euphemism, that means a nice way of saying something. Like abortion is a euphemism for killing your baby.
Yeah, because Satan is not going to show you he's Satan.
Nah.
You know, he wants you to get inside the car. Now, once he parks that mud, then his true horns will come out.
And then you gotta understand a seducing spirit, which is a seducing doctrine, it's supposed to sound good.
Yeah.
If it didn't sound good, it wouldn't be seducing.
Yeah.
That's what I call a strange woman. So our scripture says, beauty is vain and favor is deceitful. All right, it's a seducing. And that beauty and that favor is the freedom that promise you in these philosophies.
Yeah, because it looks good when you first see her.
What's that?
But as you move in with her, once she shows you her true way, when you start catching hell, you be like, well, I should stay with my other woman.
Yeah.
Which is how about some on some.
Like little Willow, right?
Yeah.
Willow, that little generation, that's the perfect epitome of Satanism. When she sits at that little red table, and when she broke that shit down, polyamory, which is a nice way of saying I'm a slut. But the way she broke it down, that was the perfect example of Satanism. Because she made it seem like exceptional and I'm oppressed and traditionalism is not the way and everybody secretly wants to, so it's not for everybody and I have friends who, you know, this, that, and the third. She worded that shit like she was really on some activist shit. So that's seducing, you know? All right. Hey man, hey, get ready for hard times, man. The power is understanding why. See, we're here to tell you why this bullshit about to happen. All right.
Verse 20. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation.
I forgot what scripture we read earlier, but we read that earlier that it won't be inhabited again. Revelation 18. All right, it should never be inhabited. Why won't it be inhabited? Sodom and Gomorrah didn't get re-inhabited because that was an example of wickedness. And the priest of Fire said it was the same wickedness. They got Sodom and Gomorrah destroyed. It's going to get America destroyed. Christianity, which is basically a seducing spirit, it's a Satanism. Do as thou wilt. And part of Satanism is egoism. Ego goes back to why. The ego goes back to the word I. So egoism is basically the way you feel trumps any argument. That's why when they stand in front of us and we tell them the truth, despite us telling them the truth, what's their rebuttal? Well, the way I see it, they're saying this.
It goes to show you being emotional. You got spirits on you.
You got spirits on you, man.
Or they'll ask you how you feel about it.
Right. And that's how you know that's a demon when they want to get you away from the scriptures. They're like, I don't want to hear what you got to say about the Bible. I want to hear your thoughts on what you got to say. That's Satan talking to you personally, man. All right?
Neither shall the Arabians pitch their tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there.
Which is what we were talking about earlier. That's why I wanted that scripture in the first place. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there. Because those little gas stations, that's the Arabian pitch tent. All right? Which Arabs, that's Ishmael. Now, Ishmael is a natural born hustler. He's a merchant.
And they have those food stands out there in New York too.
Yep, the food stands.
The gyros and shit.
Yep. So that's pitching tent. But like you said, even my friend, he was like, so I'm going back to India.
Yeah.
Because they all came here to make money. See, we might not have seen it from their perspective because we were born and raised in Babylon, but America is a merchant city.
That's right.
Everybody came here to hustle. All right? Everybody started with little food stands and food trucks. And it elevated, man.
It's like a big ass boiler.
capitalism.
Free enterprise capitalism. That's why they came here, man. All right.
All right, then they not on the curses, so they get to pretty much partake, you know, in portion, you know, the blessing of Esau, because he's not under the curses. That's right.
Ain't that something? That's right. But hey, the show is up. You got something.
Revelation 18:10, standing afar off for the fear of her torment.
You might want to go verse 11.
Verse 9. And it says, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her.
What does that mean to commit fornication? You adopted her ways. You got Moab wearing a suit and tie, making deals and agreements with America back in the day. I got all these different nations. Not only are they imitating the ways of America, they've made deals with her, trading deals. That's why you had the Panama Canal. All right, that was an import-export structure, man, for trade, man. All right, that's why you order something that says shipping and handling. And shipping is literally. Because how do you get things in America? By way of ships. That's where they get that from, man. All right, keep that in mind, ships. You know.
It says she'll bewail her and lament for her, where they shall see the smoke of her burning.
Hey, when they see the smoke of their burning, because like I said, it said that Babylon was the glory of the Chaldees' excellency, man, right? And the other nations, they made money off America. You know how many products are overpriced in America? It's made overseas, and it's overpriced in America just so they can make their profit.
And based on this money they have profited from America, they was able to build up their system.
Yep.
Their militaries and things of that nature.
Even
economies.
I found out about, I want to say it's the Philippines, I could be wrong, but one of the hustles in the Philippines was to send your people to America and get so-called educated so they can bring their education back to the Philippines and build their country. So that was actually hustling their people, you know?
And well, China was big at that too. What they call reverse engineering.
Yeah.
They'll break down American technology, you know, and Moab, they'll take it back over here, and pretty much they'll reverse engineer it and come out with the same thing on a different thing. You know?
Hustle. So everybody profited off of America. Like Walmart wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the fact that America is a merchant city. Because they have those people in Moab in those sweatshops manufacturing everything cheaply outside of minimum wage laws so they can sell it to you cheap in America.
It's either made in China or made in Taiwan.
Yep, by slaves, man. But in turn, those countries, they get elevated like that. There's a reason why you call or you gotta get a bill paid. It might be somebody that's foreign. It's got something called outsourcing. Who's in the background? Because you got a Edomite after your phone call, and he just following the temple. You don't really know what the hell going on.
He's talking low as fuck.
Yeah, he just answering your question according to a template, man.
Yeah.
All right?
And accent.
Huh?
Accent.
And he get frustrated because you can't understand him.
Yeah, he mad. You mad? Yeah, both of y'all mad at each other. And now the phone conversation extended about 10 minutes.
They ain't get nothing to talk about. But it all goes back to, can you read that again? About the shot start verse 9 again?
Revelation 18, verse 9. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her should bewail her and lament for her. And they should see the smoke of her burning.
They should lament and be well because they hustle. You killed them cash cows.
I can add, and that shows you that this system will still be existing.
Yep.
So a lot of people will receive that Lay's potato chip, man.
Yep.
You know?
Y'all want to hear. Y'all believe in a dream, man. All right, go ahead, bro.
Standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city. For in 1 hour is thy judgment come, and the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her. For no man buyeth their merchandise anymore.
No man buys their merchandise anymore because everything you purchase says made in China. So you know China gonna be wealthy. If it's somewhere around the ship where it says the ship's standing off, if it's not close to you, you don't have to worry about it.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 16, starting in verse 19. There was a certain man which was clothed in purple and fine linen and fared sumptuously every day.
We doing so bad, we can't even how to say that word. What the fuck that mean, man? All right?
He was living good.
Yeah. You know, they got $400 million. Don't you know they got $400 million private jets? You got jets that these elites and these different nations It's like a hotel inside their jet. They got a gold sink, you know? Like it's $100 million jet with another $70 million to get it customized, man.
Right.
All right?
And then what chapter? I think when the brother just read that, it's Psalms the 73rd chapter.
I thought of that too, bro.
That's the spirit.
Because you got billions. See, they act like the billionaires are the richest on earth.
Right.
No, the elites are the richest on earth.
Exactly.
$500 trillion net worth, man.
And they don't deal with money. They deal with silver and gold and people.
Yeah. So the ultimate resource.
Yeah, and lands.
Why do you think everybody's concentrated in these metropolitan cities? Every state is like a country. You got these United States. What's the difference between a state and a country then? If the population of California is higher than the population of Canada, what's the difference between a state and a country? And why is everybody concentrated in like 3-4 different cities within one state? You know, everybody's concentrated in like 3, 4, 5 cities in one state, man. The rest of it is country.
But meanwhile, the elite, they live in the states.
Yeah.
You know, some big ass palaces. And then the next one maybe about 10 or 15 miles down.
And that's how you know, that's how you know they're out to give everybody that Lay's potato chip. Once you put everybody in the city and it's concentrated, you can monitor them, you can control them, man.
Yeah.
It only makes sense.
Think about it. Oh, go ahead.
Now they're trying to make these cities smart. Well, they're making these cities smart.
And they're finna plug you into the internet. Was it Seoul, North Korea? Seoul, South Korea?
Yeah, so South Korea, yep.
You know, they been had that. But it basically, you about to get plugged into the Internet of Things. That's what they call the Internet of Things. The interconnection of things. Smart house, smart phone, smart restaurant.
Well, in Mississippi, finna do what? They trying to put the digital ID? You know, the digital driver's license.
But meanwhile, Esau's gonna be still living, you know, doing what he want to do, flying around the country, around the world, just, you know, doing whatever he wants to, but he wants you confined in your household.
Yeah, like that metaverse shit, that's for slaves.
That's it.
He won't throw you in the metaverse.
That's it. Why he to the world, the real world.
See, all this convenience stuff, all this convenience was just for the cattle.
But that's how you used to do your, my little brother. Like, you know, the smaller toy. Take this, man, you know, and you like this better. Meanwhile, my shit is big.
Did you know about that,
like, I
brother?
don't want this shit.
I don't know if you knew about that now. Now you already okay.
Yeah, he knew.
Hey.
He used to tell mom and dad.
Oh, okay. And that's calling out to the Most High.
That's snitch.
And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, which was laid at his gate full of sores, and desiring to be fed with crumbs which fell from the rich man's table.
Now, who's that beggar, man? Look at this sign, man. Hey, this is a certain beggar. Are we beg for equal rights? No. Hey, that's some shit to beg about coming out of slavery. Let's treat me like a human, goddammit. You know, and we beg for jobs.
What is this sign? Am I not a man?
Am I not a man? Like, you a man holding a sign to another man. Am I not a man? You know, you beg for what else, man? You beg for a house.
Yeah.
You beg to vote.
You beg for a woman.
You beg for a woman. You beg for your kids.
Not to go to jail.
You beg to not go to.
Not to get killed.
You beg to not get beat by cops.
Yeah.
You know, you beg for increasing your pay. Instead of certain beggar, man. That's a manifestation of Deuteronomy 28,
That's right.
where it said the stranger that is within thee will get above thee very high. He shall lend to thee. You got something real quick?
Yeah, I
Yes,
said
sir.
that scripture right there you just quoted. Deuteronomy 28:43, the stranger that's within thee should get up above thee very high.
And the main stranger was Esau Edom. But that stranger let everybody else eat. The Elam, Moab, Ishmael, even Ham black ass, man. All right?
And thou shalt come down very low.
This is very low.
Beggar.
The
He
hood.
went from a guy, a judge, Allah, right, to a kind
Because any place where Jake is concentrated, especially the low class, you surviving off what Esau's crumbs. Welfare, income taxes, minimum wage. That's the crumbs that he gave you. You surviving off another man's crumbs, man.
Basically at the mercy of Esau.
Get the mercy of Esau, man. All right? All right, we move back to that. Lazarus? Okay, good.
Moreover, the dog came and licked his sores.
Dogs came and licked the sores, man. Because when they set up shop in your neighborhood, man. So who's in your neighborhood selling you loose squares, loose condoms, you know, pig feet. These are Muslims selling you pig feet, you know.
Yeah, Josh, me and Moab got the audacity to tell you hurry up and buy.
Yeah, man. And get these hotels. Man, get these hotels, man. All ran by Elon.
All he last name Patel.
And we had a Patel in the whole town, bro.
Hey, you know why? You know the 12. You know how you know you niggas are broken down? Cause y'all don't even want the dog tail. Like niggas don't come together and be like, no, we want our own gas station. We want our own this or that. You just institutionalizing this shit. We just accept what they gonna be over us. You know? That's called a wound of slavery. All you want is respect. Just treat me like I'm a human, goddammit. The part of Deuteronomy 28, what that produced was you not having shit.
Yeah.
See, we've been in slavery so long that you forgot you're a nation too.
It was better off being segregated.
Yeah, you're better off. You know what Ishmael has, you could have had that too. All right, when Elam has their own land, you were supposed to have that too. You've been under Esau's care so long. That's why I said, hey, because he said you're gonna be nourished. You're gonna be nourished for a time, man. And a time to help a time. Go ahead.
Don't get that baby voice from you.
Yep.
Because Jake don't want, like, because he be a ruler, has perks, but also has responsibility. And see, Jake just wants the bare minimum of the perks with no responsibility. You know? That's why he's not concerned about, moving up. Because Jake don't want no responsibility. Jake wants to be in a position where he can just get his little crumbs, talking good shit, do the same thing the next day. He ain't concerned about leaving nothing behind. He ain't concerned about building legacy. Jake is just worried about getting his daily crumbs, talking his daily shit, and doing the same thing the next day.
You know what that remind me of? A goddamn boy.
Yeah.
The 12 tribes, especially the southern kingdom, they've been emasculated to the point where they think like a boy, but you should make a point. No, they've been emasculated to the point where basically the 12 tribes, especially the southern kingdom, they're a grown boy. You had that horror K. Michelle, like, she can't raise a man, but that song was true. She's like, you a grown boy, something to that effect. All right? If all that you care about your clothes, your shoes, is get some ass, you're not a man. That's a little boy mentality.
And Esau knew this.
Yeah.
Or he knew this, that's the reason why he took the father out the household.
Yeah.
Because only a man can raise a man. A woman cannot raise a man in any form, fashion, or way.
That's why after the welfare state, and a woman is raised, you don't want to get into the NBA, the NFL, but the welfare state, you were never raised to take over your neighborhood. And we know it's going according to prophecy. But it's in general, when they allowed the women to run our nation, the men who came after that, they wasn't worried about ownership or running their own neighborhoods, man.
They're worried about, assimilating.
Yep.
That's the mind frame of Jake. After that generation of removing the father, we had a generation of men that want to assimilate because that's a woman's nature. A woman's nature, like when you take on a wife, she's supposed to assimilate to your domain. That's in her nature. And these women, these men raised by women, all in household, have been bred to be what? Assimilate. Or how you say, join his neighbor. All right? Play in his NFL, play in his NBA, or whatever. And then the flip side, I was thinking too, with Eve, now Eve takes all the credit when Jake makes it to the NBA. But when he was street nigga and terrorizing the neighborhood, then it's the neighborhood fault.
Where's his father?
Yeah.
Well, she gonna justify
Yeah.
So shit.
and say her fucking son never did nothing. Hey, remember that video we was watching with Julio?
Yeah.
Your mama said that this nigga was the perfect angel, but he's on the goddamn picture on the gang sign.
And it's funny. That's the beautiful point. When that nigga is successful, she get all the credit for it. When that nigga's a failure,
The neighborhood.
the neighborhood,
Everybody go look.
Yep. So and that was an attack on our nation. Take the fatherhood out, man. Take the fatherhood out.
And Esau knows this. That's why basically when you get those domesticated pigs, and once you allow them to go out there in the wild, what happens? They start going hard, they become aggressive, they have to adapt to that environment. And it's the same thing with Jake. Once Jake's father was moved out of that household, Jake became wild due to the adaptation of their environment.
Sounds like Isaiah 42.
Yeah. Yeah.
They lie weight as a live bull.
Yeah.
I might have another scripture.
Full of furry in the neck.
Yep. You get some?
This 1 Samuel 2:8. It says, I started at 7. It said, the Lord Yahweh by Shem Shah maketh poor and maketh rich. He bringeth low and lifteth up.
And he bring it low. He brought us low.
Yeah.
They said the enemy they lifted up the head. Was that Psalms 83?
Yeah.
You know, so it said he make it low and he lifted up.
And how do you know? Hey, bro, go to Luke chapter 4. Yeah, chapter 4. And go to all these kingdoms I will give you.
Another byproduct of slavery is that we had no recollection of our rulership.
Mm-hmm.
If you take a lion and you domesticate that lion and you separate him from that pride, he has no recollection that he once ran the earth or he once ran the wild. You know?
Well, you saw that on the Wizard of Oz.
Oh yeah.
When the lion lost his bones.
And that was spiritual.
Yeah.
I take that as a very spiritual movie, man. It just so happened the lion lost his courage, man.
Okay, courage and bones.
You know?
This book of Luke chapter 4, verse 5. And the devil taking him up into a high mountain showed unto him all the kingdoms of the world in a moment of time. And the devil said unto him, all this power will I give thee, and the glory of them, for that is delivered unto me.
It goes to show you that the Most High lifts up and raises down. Because Satan got this world because of Yahweh through his son Yahweh Shah. And when you see these so-called entertainers making it big and things of that nature, what happened? They bowed down to Satan. But it was the will of the Most High because Satan works for the Most High.
And it says, and to whomsoever I will give it.
Right, so Yahweh Shah seen all these kingdoms, right? He saw the Babylonian Empire, he saw the Greek Empire, the Medo-Persian Empire, the Roman Empire, he saw America, so on and so forth.
And you know what? And the way you know that's true, and the most I get it to say, they showed you clues of that in the movie, was that the movie 300? Where Leonidas was amongst Xerxes, and then they have Baphomet in that.
Yeah,
They had Baphomet in that movie, showing you that all those kingdoms, they wanted to maintain their rulership. They were sacrificing to save. They might have had little names for their little deities, but it ultimately went back to save. Why did you have Baphomet in that movie, man? You know? Because you're going to have to sacrifice to keep your power, man. You know?
yeah. This is 1 Samuel 2:8. He raised up the poor out of the dust and lifted up the beggar from the dunghill.
Hey, now what we refer to as the beggar in Luke? That was Israel. You know?
That's the devil.
Yep.
You know, because Lazarus, all right, represents pretty much the men of Israel gonna be lifted up, you know, from their beggar position, man. Their promotion.
You know what's heavy? It said he lifted up the beggar from the dunghill. And but the neighborhoods in America, the ghettos in America, they're like a shithole.
Yeah. What Trump said.
Yeah, it's a shit. Hey, Trump referring to our neighborhoods as shitholes.
And then,
No, you got it, bro.
then what's the number one proverb that the nigga woman say about you? Niggas ain't shit.
Yeah, niggas ain't shit, man.
There's a position of no honor, man.
Yep. A shitty position, man.
And it says, he raised, this is back in 1 Samuel 2:8, he raised up the poor out of the dust and lifted up the beggar from the dunghill to set them among princes and to make them inherit the throne of glory. For the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and he has set the world upon them.
He got a precept for you, bro.
This is Luke chapter 16, verse 22. And it came to pass that the beggar died and was carried by the angels into Abram's bosom.
And this is all symbolic talk. You know, so the beggar is what? A representation for the nation of Israel. Right? Abraham's bosom is a representation of the kingdom of heaven. The real new world order, man.
And like I asked, he said the beggar died. And the scriptures say that what? We have to be born again. You see? We're not in the mindset of a beggar. Of course we know we within this man's system and we gotta do what we gotta do to make it. But they having that mind that our mind don't end to begin with begging this man for a piece of his crumbs, man. We get in and get out now, but see, we're born again. That beggar died, that old man. You know?
The rich man also died and was buried.
So what goes around comes around. All right, because now we're actually what? In Esau's hell. Right? But Esau's heaven is our hell. So when we get to the kingdom of heaven, it's vice versa. And that's only fairness in Yahweh Shem Al Shah. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 23. And in hell he lifted up his eyes, being in torments. And
why is he in torments? Because now the curses are exercised on him. What's that scripture in Deuteronomy? Get that, bro.
It's Deuteronomy 28, verse 48.
Right.
Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which Yahweh Bashemel Shah should send against thee, in hunger and thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. You go to the word want, it goes into poverty. Okay. You know?
That's hell.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, but I wanted that when it talks about, I think it's 30, yeah, Deuteronomy, yeah, 37. That was a good one too. Yeah. Read that again, bro.
This is Luke chapter 16, verse 22. And it came to pass that the beggar died and was carried by the angels into Abram's bosom. The rich man also died and was buried.
Right.
And in hell he lifted
now
up
this rich man has died, right? And now he's in hell. Now he's being tormented. Why? Go ahead, bro.
This Deuteronomy 37.
Right.
And the Most High thy power
Right.
to put all the curses upon thy enemies.
So all these curses on thy enemies, starting with Esau, Edom, and his joint heirs, according to these other nations. Also spoken of in Psalm the 83rd chapter. Go ahead.
On them that hate thee.
Right, on them that hate thee. Go ahead.
Which persecuted thee.
Right, and they persecute us. When you go into that term persecute, it means to follow us. Right? And what they're trying to do is they're trying to eradicate our nation off the face of the earth because ultimately Esau wants that blessing back. Right?
So we say I should weigh out the saints. And we go to the word weigh out. Goes into custody harass.
Going to the rich man dying, you know, that's Esau losing his rulership.
That's right.
Hey, because someone they're wealthy, they'd rather die than be poor.
Exactly.
You see?
Exactly.
So this man losing his rulership is a form of a death, man.
Yeah, it is.
You know?
It is. Get up in the dynasty. Right?
That's what a lot of millionaires, as soon as they lose their money, what first thing they do?
Coming out their top floor.
They jump on their shoes. Guess what? They gonna get a dog, everything else too. So,
and going back to that beggar, like what group of people in today's time like constantly complaining about reparations? You know what I'm saying? No justice, no peace. Or crying about social injustices, man. That shows you that's that beggar, you know?
That's it.
You know, the Israelites, man.
That's it.
And then reparations go back to repair.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
That's what I said. He's going to restore us to Yahweh Shah.
Yeah. Because Yahweh Shah took the kingdom from us, he's the only one to give it back. But the green light has to come from Yahweh.
Yes, he said that. He said go right into it. This is Revelation 1 and 18. I am he that liveth and was dead, and behold, I am alive forevermore. Amen. That have the keys of hell and death.
Right.
So that's Yahweh Shah. All right, that's going to put Esau in hell,
That's
in that
right.
condition.
That's it.
All right?
Because keys means power.
Yep.
You know, if you got the keys to something, you have the power.
Full access.
Full access.
Yeah,
And it starts with this knowledge. That's
right.
Go ahead, bro.
Now, see, you got access or the power to take a nation out of slavery and the power and access to the nation in slavery.
That's it. That's it.
Yep.
All right.
That's my topic.
Go ahead, let me talk.
All right, now for that word hell, going back to the parable of the rich man and Lazarus.
Right.
All right, in the Greek, it's Hades.
Right.
All right, in the main definition, it's in the Thayer's Greek lexicon. All right, and it says metaphorically, or to go or be thrust down in the depth of misery and disgrace.
That's it. That's it. And that's our state within Esau's rulership, man. Because hell is nothing but, in that sense, conditions played out on earth. You know? Go ahead, bro.
Like, hey, you got a whole music genre called the blues.
Yep.
Well, pretty much created from the misery, you see, from the misery of our people, man.
Right.
Hey, also we got trap music.
Yep.
Music about being in the trap,
Yep.
in the pit,
Yeah, in the pits.
you know.
Yeah. I remember one of Tupac's last interviews, he was on the Source. And actually, he was talking about how he was in heaven. And he was describing it based on his living environment.
Yep.
He was like, I'm in this house, I got this big TV, ain't this heaven? I mean, my bank is heaven.
Yep.
So he knew there is nothing but conditions, man. That's it.
I gotta make it to heaven because I'm going through hell.
Yeah.
No, sorry, bro.
Now, just to back up your point, showing Esau, no, it mentions scriptures that bring up Capernaum, or Capernaum,
Yeah.
being brought down the hill.
That's it. That's it.
Because you look at places like Dubai, all right, you look at how they least live, they're in their heaven.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know, then you look at the slums, all right, the favelas, all right, that's hell. The ghettos, that's hell, man.
Small ass boxes,
Yep.
trash and syringes on the ground.
Yep.
World War III going do a lot of damage, man. A lot of these, like you said, Dubai and all this shit.
Yeah.
Hey, because you had, you remember when Iran had struck that military base, and Trump had scrambled them jets and was going to do a strike in Iran.
Yeah.
And he had called this shit off because Iran had already locked on to Dubai. They had locked into, they had locked on. They had the missiles picked up in Dubai. Like you start seeing the missile targets light up, and that's why Trump called this shit off. But Iran finna fuck that whole strip up because it's right over the Gulf of Suez, and they can hit anywhere they want.
Hey, yep.
Yeah, so when World War III start, all these, these places you see, come up on your phone, trip to Dubai, and, Singapore, like, nah, them all the places where all these nations got those missiles, aimed at, man.
And it's the same thing with America knows too, that it's target cities from China.
Yep.
It's, if they attack, all right, if they get involved between the conflict between China and Taiwan and Australia, America gets involved to help Australia. The guy mentioned on 60 Minutes, it was like, he basically implied it's target cities is gonna get hit.
Yep.
Like it's an equation. Y'all enter into this conflict, it's it's American cities gonna get hit.
Yeah. You had that, I think he's from Scotland, but he's British military. Yeah, he told that Edomite, he was like, well, look, you're going to have to explain to the American voters, all right, why nukes is flying from America to China, man. He said, he stopped talking to the Edomite and started talking to the camera. He said, is this the guy you want to fall into this nuclear war? Because, hey, this shit going to be a back and forth, man.
It is. There's
You know?
gonna be some exchanges, man. Forget Isaiah 14 and 4. No, we good, man. We good.
And it's Sirach 10 and 8. Because of unrighteous
And
dealing,
because of unrighteous dealings, all right, being managed by Esau, go ahead.
and injuries,
Right.
and riches got by deceit.
Riches, all his riches were got by deceit, lies, murder, deception. Go ahead.
The kingdom is translated
Yeah.
from one people to another.
So Esau's kingdom, all right, will be destroyed, and our kingdom will be manifested. All right, and think about this. Riches are like energy, okay? You cannot destroy riches, so that's why riches are translated. When we went down, our riches were translated. And it's the same mechanism when Esau goes down.
Yep.
Now jump to Isaiah 14.
It's Isaiah 14 verse 4.
Right.
That thou shalt take up this proverb
Right, and a proverb is what? A proverb is a wise saying. Go ahead.
against the king of Babylon.
Right, who's the king of Babylon? At this time frame is either Biden or Kamala. I don't know.
Queen B.
Yeah, but I'm willing to bet $100. Yeah, basically, Kamala basically takes the throne next because they ain't coming back.
It's safe. How has the oppressor ceased?
Hey, how is the oppressor ceased? Because this country is an oppressor. Hey, think about this. Jeremiah identified this country as that hammer. When you go into that Hebrew term for hammer, it means a situation or how it has actually devastated the entire world, man. That's what a hammer does. Go ahead, bro.
Go to the word oppressor of the gospel, and it says driver, taskmaster, ruler, tyrants.
America is that ruler. America is that tyrant. All right. Doesn't America have central banks all throughout the world and one of the strongest militaries at one time? So if you didn't play ball, what did they do? They would shut your economy down. They employed puppet governments. They showed you that in James Bond. What was that? The second, Quantum of Solace. Of how Esau goes to places like Haiti, goes to places like Bolivia, and buys out their government and puts a puppet government in there, right? And if they don't play ball, they're willing to off that primary figure and replace them with their replacement, man. And they showed you that. And then he said on James Bond, the bad guy, he said we have 27 to 28 countries that will support this. What does that mean? They control the EU. They bought and paid for it. And all this shit is staged, man.
The movie Distraction.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead, bro.
It says exert the demanding pressure
Right.
to be hard pressed.
And that's what America does. It applies pressure until you conform into its image. All right? You do what it tells you to do. If not, hey, your military is going, their military is coming over there and they're going to wreak shop.
Look at the tribe of Manasseh due to the Cuban blockade. Esau has something called economic hit. You can look that up too. So it says that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, I had the oppressor cease, the golden city cease.
And that's going to stop, all right? This rulership will end during Yahweh's second coming. All right? Once he arrives, this kingdom is going down. Continue.
It says, the Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers.
Meaning what? He has taken that rulership from them. Go ahead.
He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted.
Go ahead.
And none hinder it.
Go ahead.
The whole earth is at rest and is quiet.
The whole earth is at rest once this kingdom is destroyed. All right? It tells you when Alexander came into power of how evils were multiplied. No, it stated that the earth was quiet prior to his arrival. But then when he was seized and gave his kingdom to those 4 generals, evils were multiplying, man. These people are the wicked, from the male to the female, from the boy to the girl, man.
That's when that piece was taken from the earth.
Yeah. Yeah. And Alexander had that New World Order mindset too. And guess what? He was one of the first people to actually implement kings inside of his armies and shit, man. Ain't that a New World Order? Go ahead, man.
Keep it unto him, all nations.
Yeah.
It says the whole earth is at
And
rest.
that's where you get that, like the L.I. went into, that's where you get that concept of G.I. Joe. Implementing heathens into America's army and shit. Go ahead, bro.
It says the whole earth is at rest and is quiet.
Go ahead.
They break forth into seed.
Mm-hmm. Meaning why? Because basically everything is going to be peaceful.
Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars.
Even the trees going to rejoice, right? All right, that goes to show you that the trees have a spirit too. The earth has a spirit. Go ahead.
Yep, and the cedars of Lebanon saying, since thou art laid down, no fellas come up against
And
us.
what is a fellow? A fellow in the Hebrew means a lawman, right? You have this term across the
Deforestation.
Yeah, how they just basically cut down trees and things of that nature. For nothing. Go ahead, my
You have to call it industrialization. So you're going to places, basically a wooded area, chop down or burn down hundreds of acres of trees to build some facility, man.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
And you're doing it in mass, man.
Yeah. And look at Malibu. You got places like Malibu out there in the hills, but then they wonder why the fuck they get attacked by these mountain lions. You're in their habitat. You have no business out there, man.
Industrialization effed everything up, man. Because you basically, see, like you something you went into, in order to get this paradise, the earth has to go through hell, basically. In order to get Dubai and build these big cities, people have to go through slavery. A lot of land has to get just extracted of resources on a grand level, man. Because you're a mass producer from the planet Earth.
Yeah. And you gotta understand something. The earth is not that old. All right. You know, they tell you this bullshit that the earth is like 50 billion to 60 billion years old. The earth at most is 12,000 years old. All right. So the earth is young. It's just under bad or poor management.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro.
Even these all this concrete is smothering the earth.
Yeah.
I think a brother said like they got satellite images where you can see the streets. You can see these highways coming across, you know, and they look like whips. You know, those slave backs. You know, it look like the earth is being whipped, man. You know?
And you wonder why that the earth won't yield.
And that's why every so many years you gotta repave the streets.
Yeah.
It's not natural, man.
That's why it's earthquakes, tornadoes, hurricanes. You know, this is the earth is fighting back, man.
And if I can say this, man, when I was a kid coming up, you know, when they would cut trees down, you know, they would either thin them out, not cut them all, or if they did cut a large portion of it, they would actually go back and plant trees.
That's what they
But
did.
now they don't even plant them no more. They
That's
just
what
cut
they
the shit
did.
down and leave it there, man.
Yeah.
And it's vegetation, but nothing beneficial really for the air, man. No trees, so nothing getting rid of carbon monoxide really. So and with the chemtrails and all these every other thing, you know what I'm saying? It's making it bad for everybody else, man. And then they saying cows. Now they saying cows is a part of the reason of the pollution of the air because the gas they passing through.
Oh my God.
Literally, man. What is it? It's not carbon dioxide coming out. I can't remember the name of the gas they release, but it's causing global warming is what they saying.
And that's why
It
the
ain't
scripture
ammonia. I
states
did
about
depend on it,
Esau,
but yeah, they say it
science
causes
or
global
falsely
warming,
called, man.
Yeah, but then this nigga testing nukes, so that ain't no problem.
Yeah.
Because it's funny, the trees, because you gotta think, the scripture says all things that are useless.
Yeah.
We were born and raised seeing trees,
Right.
not really realizing how important it is. That's why it's such abundance. It's oxygen. And it filters out the atmosphere, man.
Hey, read that other because I know you got it.
We're able to breathe because of the life, because of the trees,
Yeah, pretty
or the
science
phytoplankton in the
so
ocean. All right, we're able to breathe because of that, man. You know?
Everything has its purpose, man.
Because the trees emit what? Oxygen.
Yeah, this man has created a death count in his science, you know. And now he's blaming nature, man. That's a hell of a nigga, man.
That is fart like cows. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna just read these article titles. It speaks for itself. It says, why methane from cattle warms the climate differently than CO2 from fossil fuels. So it ain't his fossil fuels, it's the cow.
Cow like, huh?
Yeah.
You know?
He is never the problem.
Yeah, this is the nigga that's in rulership, man. You know? And see, niggas don't care, like niggas don't know what's going on.
Right.
Alright? It's gonna be, you know, it's these Edomites that's pretty much waking up to the BS, you know, and speaking out outside of the prophet. But at the end of the day, this man has to be moved out of power, man. This is what we're dealing with. Nigga with trillions of dollars, all these resources, and this is the excuse he got for so-called global climate is cows, you know, having a bowel, you know, gastro. You know, come on, man. Hey, read one more of them,
It ain't the cars, all the fucking cars. It ain't that.
Yeah.
It ain't
That car came through earlier. I know that nigga part of the CO2.
And do it exhaust shit.
And
That
then they
nigga
go,
need a great reset. So.
they're going back to the concentrated cities. So you have millions of people in one city all driving these cars.
Yeah.
You know, and we have these facilities, places, nuclear facilities.
The factory.
The factories.
The smog coming off from the big factory. The chemical waste that's going
Council
into
to
the
the
river.
river.
Where's the cows?
Yeah. Nuclear, here, what is what's that in China? Was it Japan Fukushima? The nuclear reactor?
Yep.
Tons, millions of tons of nuclear reactors in the water. You know, but the niggas blame the cow, man.
Plastic in the ocean.
Yeah.
You got whole wells that's washed up on the shore. They cut it open. You got all type of bottles and stuff in it.
That's what they finding now. Yeah, in the sea, you got face masks. You know.
That was injected.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is a hell of a nigga, man. Let me read one more, bro. All right, this is the most recent one. It says, do cows' farts cause global warming? Iowa Farm Bureau. This is the point, you know.
Well, there you have it.
I got it.
Go ahead, bro.
This is Jeremiah 50 and 22. A sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken?
Let's talk about America, okay? America will be destroyed. All right, hence Revelation 18th chapter, Isaiah the 34th chapter, Okay, Isaiah 14. All right, America will be destroyed for being that wicked, for being that mistress, leading all these countries into sin and error. Go ahead, bro.
How is Babylon become a desolation among the
So
nations?
when you go into that term desolation, the definition means also utterly empty, man. All right, and the only thing that can do that is that plague called nuclear destruction, man. Okay, and this place will never be lived upon by people again. Only desert-like creatures. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 24. I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken.
Right, so the snare is what? A snare is a trap. All right, so America is going to fall into, America is going to become victim in Yahweh Shem Al-Shah's game plan, man. All right, because America think they're going to win this World War III, but they're not. All right, Yahweh Shah is the X factor. Go ahead, bro.
And it says, I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou wast not aware.
Mhm.
Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord Yahweh Shema
And
Shah.
that's all America teaches you. Like the brother was talking about earlier, satanic worship. All right, do as thou wilt. And they use it in the form of Christianity, okay, what's another term? Democracy, okay, being feminine and so on and so forth, man. Liberal, okay, all of this is against the standard of Yahweh Shem Shah. Because by default, Israelites supposed to be ruling the world. But we have the basis of men on top. Go ahead, bro.
And evil. Now it's saying now you're pushing that wicked vibration upon the children. And you know they're more impressionable, so you start them at a young age to get into this dogma.
You know, I did an article, a video on an article today. You see it? You read it? Hey, it was about, we had this family out there in Wisconsin, and this girl that became 12 years old, she wanted to be identified as a male, and for the school system to utilize male pronouns when they was calling upon her. So what her parents did was they removed her from the school system. All right, and this goes to show you that basically this is Babylon, Babal, which means what? A confusion. And now when you go into the scriptures, it talks about how your father and your mother supposed to rear you up. Well, when it comes to America, America wants to brainwash your kids. Why? Because they're that next wave. See, they know that people like us and all the people mainly are set in their ways. And you got some idiots out there, but they're targeting the kids because they're trying to program them to do what they want. All right, and think about this. That's why even when you go into the scriptures, it's extremely important to be born again. When you're born again, you have to come in that childlike state. And now you're impressionable. So now you have to look up to the apostles and your teachers and things of that nature so you can be spiritual, mature adults, man. Go ahead, bro. Get there. Yeah, get there. Yeah, get there.
Revelation 11 and 18. And the nations were angry, and the wrath was come, in the time of the dead, and they should be judged, and that thou shouldst give a reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldst destroy them which destroy the earth. He's going into, like just the wicked things Esau he's doing, how it goes to his wicked inventions, and that is like capitalize off the mindset of the people, especially the this young generation of other people. Man. That's why this generation known as Generation X. Z, Generation Z, man. The majority of our people mindset are totally Babylonian now, man.
Like you said, back on the square of the earth. Man, and Esau got, we were talking about the ocean. They throw so much trash in the ocean. Look at the trees, look at the land. They constantly drill. They constantly drill for oil.
Yep.
They got a landfill with all kind of bullshit, man. I mean,
They blow the earth open.
yeah. So one of them destroy the earth. Esau got to go. You the only people that you're in charge. You in charge of the earth. The wicked is the hand of the wicked. The earth is getting the hand of the wicked. So guess what? The Lord will destroy you for destroying the earth.
You think about like you just said with the oil drilling, you constantly just plowing it. It's like you do that to a woman, you constantly drilling a woman 24/7, you gonna kill her.
Yeah.
So how much the earth? So how much the earth right there, man? That's why this earth is like a spirit that's crying out, man.
And then you got something called fallowing. You gotta let the soil fallow. You gotta have a land Sabbath. You let the nutrients rebuild in the soil. You're just drilling the earth. Leaving it wide open. You know?
He's trying to heal himself.
He's trying to heal himself. That wound has to recover, man.
They even got a what they call burnout for a person, man. If you constantly working, you gotta take some time out, man, because you're gonna burn yourself out. You'll fuck around and collapse somewhere, right? So everything has to have a healing process, if you will, or time off, man.
That's the nature of it. How about Shema Mashai? He set everything up to have a system of resetting.
That's it.
You do 6 days and on 7 you reset. You perform 6 years and on 7 years you reset. That's why there's a new moon and a Sabbath. That's your time, huh? Jubilee. That's you reset the debt. You reset the debt system.
Every 50 years, right?
Right. Yep. So you reset that debt system, man. Everything the Most High set up the earth as a system to reset itself, man. You know?
Yeah. Just 2 more points, man. Ecclesiastes.
It's the book of
Verse
Ecclesiastes.
2.
It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 1. Hear me, your father, O children, and do thereafter that ye may be safe.
Right.
For the Lord has given the father honor over the
So
children,
the father is over the children. Go ahead.
and hath confirmed the authority of the mother over the son.
And that's the hierarchy of the household. You have the father, you have the mother, you have your kids. Your parents supposed to be raising you, not the fucking school system.
Right.
But guess what? You spend more time in that school system than you do with your parents. So now when the child comes home, you have to reprogram them in righteousness. Now get what you got.
I did Proverbs 22:6.
Right.
Train up a child in the way it should go.
Now according to what Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter, hey, here the whole duty of men is to basically what? To fear the Most High and keep His commandments. All right, this is what you're supposed to groom your children in. All right, but when you send them to school, now they come back home with this satanic vibration. And now remember, Esau knows psychology, which means the study of the spirit. So he's all about conditioning our people, especially our people in the root of all wickedness. All right?
Now you guys set up the date where your child can go to school. All right, he can change his sex, get the juice, and learn about alphabet.
See, and that's what that girl did. She was able to go to school without her parents' consent and be identified as a boy.
I said you go change your sex. All right, you go change your gender, get the juice. You know, then come home throwing up the alphabet. You know, all them from 8 to 3. You know. This is the age we live in, man. Like you say, pre-flood behavior, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, go ahead.
And you seduced into it.
Yep.
You said like it's normal.
Yep.
Right.
And if you don't accept it, you're the oddball.
And you know what's crazy? They don't accept their fucking selves.
Nope.
These transgenders,
Right.
these gay, you don't accept yourself. So how you gonna fucking expect somebody else to accept that shit?
You're a grown woman.
crazy,
You're a
man.
woman with a beard on your face.
Right.
And you gotta accept that.
Yeah.
But you couldn't accept that you're a woman.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
But you know what's fucked up? I forgot the terminology of it. But now you know, like if a male leaves that gender and goes to the female gender, now they want to go back.
Yeah,
They try to reverse. I forgot the terminology of it.
I forgot that too. But I saw the documentary on it.
Okay.
It's big.
Yeah.
It's like that's what they're not telling you on mainstream. That a lot of people who crossed over, they want to cross back over, man.
Yeah.
So now you had this surgery. Now I know the demon's not on you like that, I guess. Now you want to go back to that natural state, and it's hard. Because he
Your
transitioned.
spirit crying out.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know?
You're much done. Once you do that, you're done.
If you a man,
Like that.
if you a man, you naturally a man. You can't help that's your DNA as a woman.
Yeah.
So, you know, when you get to a certain point, that manliness, some kind of way, is like crying out. Like say the spirit is crying out.
Yep.
Your behavior, you want to do shit. You trying to be a woman, but then you walk around lifting up the back of a damn car and shit.
And the Elder Kazak about the water, he just brought that term out. It's called detransition. D means back, transition means change, change back.
You know what I realized too, bro? Like your philosophy and your mind can't dominate the impulses that the Most High put in you. Like, you know, you have a lot of women who are lesbians and studs, but then you turn around still with a baby.
Right,
Because
exactly.
the Most High put drives in you to produce yourself. So like you the legend stud, but those drives, you going to bed at night with these knees that the little toys can't fix. You know?
That's why these women is searching for these men that don't cheat and they don't exist. Yeah. They're like a cheat that don't run fast. You know, you see a slow cheat, a nigga slow. You know, no, you can ready to run, nigga.
But Esau created that philosophy that we're on the same playing field when it comes to commitment.
Yeah.
They get tired shooting them down bullshit ass bullets. Like them high points. Them high points. Hollow tips.
Yep. See, surely you're turning a thing upside down, man. You've turned things that should be seen as a potter's clay. You've turned the way of Esau has tempered with things that he's supposed to have never even tempered with. He's supposed to have never tempered with the natural order between a man and a woman.
In Genesis, after everything was done, he said it was good.
Yep.
So what's the problem?
So Eve was a help me. The Most High said this is good.
Yeah.
You know?
They're gonna eat.
Yeah.
No, I can do it better.
That's why when you go to Apostle Paul, he was speaking to those churches that were heavily Hellenized. What was he doing? He was setting up order. You know? When they get there in 1 Corinthians 11.
Isaiah 19, verse 14. The Most High have mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof.
Yo, this perverse means twisted, backwards, crooked. All right, it's a very perverse spirit. You know, yeah, nothing makes sense. Like the mindset of people, it doesn't make sense. It's perverted. You know, go ahead.
And they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof.
In every work, everything that's going on in America is in error. You know, you look at the music, it's in error. You look at, all right, the marriage, it's in error. You look at the food, it's in error. The new generation of children coming up, they're in error. You know, everything is in error. Like every facet of America is in some type of error, man.
As a drunken man staggereth in his bucket.
Yeah, a drunken man that's staggering. And what are they drunk with? The philosophies of America.
They are drunken, but not with wine.
Yeah, that makes you stagger. You know, you're not aware. All right, you're not productive. If someone comes to work sloppy drunk, they're not productive. You know, they're prone to injury. You see, they're prone to making mistakes. You know, they're a liability now. And now when you look at the people in America, all right, they have a mindset to be more of a liability, all right, than an asset, man. Women are supposed to be assets. Men, all right, are supposed to be assets, man. You know? Esau turned everything into what? Liabilities, man. You can't even get a car at your little cousin because he beef with every goddamn body. You know? Where that mindset come from, that energy come from, man? The wine of Babylon, because what? These rah-rah, hoorah niggas are what? Exalted.
Yep.
All right?
They know if they act a certain way, it's going to be honored.
Yeah.
You know?
You see?
Well, you going on live, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you got it, bro.
Good brother.
You
All right, Isaiah 28:7. But they also have erred through wine, and through strong drink are out of the way.
Yep, through strong drink are out of the way. You know, like Jay got this term called out of pocket.
Yep.
All right? The nigga woman is out of pocket, man. All right? Niggas who have taken on this philosophy, all right, of Babylon, with this street culture, the American dream, you know, like say free spirited, you know, they have become very out of pocket, man. You know, go ahead.
All right. Isaiah 28:7. But they also have erred through wine and through strong drink are out of the way. The priest and the prophet have erred through strong drink. They are swallowed up of wine. They are out of the way through strong drink. They err in vision. They stumble in judgment.
And you seeing that a lot. Cause you know the pastor is good, like the black Baptist pastor. All right, that nigga's beyond finished, man. You see, there ain't even no sense in speaking about them guys, man. If you need a video to show them how them niggas is going off, all right, you gotta catch up, man. But even amongst Jake, because we talked about being born again, but amongst these men that know they're Israelites, we're seeing that these men are not born again and they're erring through strong drink, man.
It's like you wash the cup out, right?
Yep.
And you got a cup with a certain liquor, right?
Yep.
But you don't wash the cup out, then you put the new liquor in it. You still taste it.
Yep.
That's how these Israelites, you got the fringes on,
Yep.
but you still got the residue of the nigger culture.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. And they cause them to err in visions, which is what? The prophecies, man.
Yeah.
All right, that's why you got Jake talking about 1,000-year life cycle. He's erring according to the prophecies, man. Why? Because of that low vibration of America, man.
Yeah.
You see? Yeah, bro.
Put a cap on the Most High.
Yeah.
All right, Isaiah 29:9. Stay yourselves and wonder, cry ye out and cry. They are drunken, but not with wine.
They are drunken, but not with wine. Go ahead.
They stagger, but not with strong drink.
They stagger, but not with strong drink. And see, like you say, this red pill community trying to wake up, you know, the nigga woman trying to red pill her back to her role. No, she's staggering with strong drink. She's gone. All right? Alcohol poison. You know, she's finished, man.
Then most of the red pill, the Israelites.
Yep.
So the Israelite woman already assess you as insignificant.
Yeah.
The fact that it's us talking to Eve, she's not gonna change.
Nah.
Basically, the nutshell, you have to be put to death.
Yep. The joy gonna get put to death, and you gonna get their mind right when you go down, man.
Yep.
You know, the Most High gonna have to intervene and shake the earth up,
Yep.
break down this. Because pretty like even the elder Required Quorum in London made a beautiful point. He said, "You niggas is already in the metaverse. You know, you cartoon ass niggas is already in the damn metaverse, man. Because every like nigga culture is pretty much millions of people imitating 3 or 4 different people. Either you trying to be Cardi, you know, or Jay-Z, or a black youngster, you know, or Soldier Boy. You trying to fit one of them molds that Esau created. So all you people are already characters in the goddamn virtual, and people are hooked on virtual reality. Like, Facebook, Instagram, it's basically virtual reality.
They invest more into their virtual selves than them.
Yep.
Because on virtual, they popping.
That's why they had that movie called Surrogates.
Yeah. Those symbolic for this shit.
Netflix.
I don't know if it's on Netflix. That's back when everybody was on Redbox.
Yeah.
But they had that movie called Surrogates, and that was a metaphor for this shit.
Yeah.
They had a representation of themselves, I think in the internet world, but there was a representation of themselves, man.
They had like those cyborg bodies.
Yup, like an avatar.
Yeah, like Avatar. That's supposed to be them.
Yeah. That was a metaphor for this social media shit, man.
Because they'll be at the house. You know what I'm saying? But the artificial them will interact in the so-called real world.
It'll be some fat slum at the house, but he'll be dressed as a fit model in the surrogate world, man.
Yeah.
All right, that was a metaphor for what was about to happen now, man.
Yep. This is it, man. You got something more? No, I'm gonna get that first one. Yeah. Hey, because now what's happening, Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah, through this wisdom and understanding, is putting everything in perspective, man. What's that, he gets Rock 8-1? No, Wisdom of Solomon 8. You got it, man.
I just saw 1 Corinthians 11:1. Be ye followers of me, even as I also of Mashiach.
Yeah, so Apostle Paul is like, look, follow me like I do, as I'm following Yahweh Shah. See, this wisdom is putting things back in order. Now it's giving structure to the nation. All right? Because anything that you build has to have a foundation. And that foundation is the wisdom of the scriptures, and then you build up off of that. You see? Go ahead.
Verse 2. Now I praise you, brother, that you remember me in all things and keep the ordinance as I delivered them to you.
Go ahead.
Verse 3. But I would have you to know that the head of every man is Mashiach.
Yeah, so now he's setting up the hierarchy, all right, for the nation of Israel. This is what makes us thrive. Like, this comes out all the time, but this is very important. This order that the Apostle Paul is going through is very important, and straying away from that has gotten us in this position where we are now. All right? Go ahead.
And the head of the woman is the man.
The head of the woman is the man. See? Apostle Paul is talking to, all right, Israelite foreigners who was Hellenized, all right, who was into having orgies, who was into worshiping the Queen of Heaven and sacrificing the idols and things being out of order. So he's giving them some structure, all right? Go ahead.
And the head of Mashiach is the Most High.
He's the Most High. So from the top to the bottom, you have the Most High, all right? You have Yahweh Shai, you have the Israelite man, then the Israelite woman, all right? Then you have the children even under the woman. You see? There's a perfect order of hierarchy amongst Israel. And that's what we're getting back to. The serpent came to Eve and snatched her out of that order. You see?
You're a god.
Yeah, he snatched Eve from under the man and exalted her like, nah, you should be worshipped. You know? And that's why you see what? Chaos, because things are out of order, man.
There was a photographer, I want to say like a French photographer.
Yep.
He's like a nudist photographer.
Yep.
And he was taking pictures of one of his favorite subjects. It was an Israelite woman, it was Eve. And basically one of the things, it was basically he worshipped her body.
Yeah.
He was like, this Evite has the most perfect body.
Yep.
He was like, if there was ever a God, she's it.
Yeah.
So he had this little setup in his little mind. Was like, no, you're a God.
Yep.
And I was like, this is serpent talking to this woman.
That's the Diana of Ephesus.
Yep, the Diana of Ephesus. We have no queen but Diana.
Yeah.
You know?
Great is the Diana of Ephesus.
Great is the Diana of Ephesus. It's Eve, man.
Yep.
But that's Esau's serpent philosophy.
Yep.
If there is a God, it's you, Eve.
Yep. You got it.
Now what did they say? The black woman is God.
And it's 1 Corinthians 11:8. For the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man.
Hey, the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. All right? The woman was created, to complement the man. All right? Not to be a war, because the majority of Jake households, the majority, either Eve run it fully or it's a power struggle. Yep. It's a constant power struggle back and forth. You see, you got very few, households where Jake, got things copacetic, But for the most part, it's either Eve run it or it's a power struggle, man. And that's why the divorce rate so high, man. It's initiated by Eve. She can't get that power struggle, she get out of there, man. Go ahead.
Verse 9. Neither was the man created for the woman,
Yep.
but the woman for the man.
Yeah, so man was created to serve Yahweh Shai. The Israelite man was created to serve Yahweh Shai. And then woman would serve him as, all right, he's serving Yahweh Shai. But everybody would benefit. Because if that man is blessed, what is he gonna do for the woman that's serving him, that's in order? She gonna get showered. She gonna be good. So the hierarchy benefited everybody. Even from the Most High, all right, Yahweh Shai serving him, all right, and then us serving Yahweh Shai. Because we're going to be an extension of the Most High on the earth, going back to immortality. That's why we're going to have immortality. Like you always say, we're going to be many Most Highs ruling in the realm of men. That's going to benefit what? The glory of the Heavenly Father. You see? So the hierarchy benefits everybody in the hierarchy, but you got to be in order. Take something simple like this. Spark plugs and wires. If you don't put those spark plugs and wires in the right sockets, that car gonna run terrible. Like you gotta put the right wire with the right socket for the spark plug, and the car runs perfectly. But if you can mix one wire up and have it out of place, and the car run terrible, man.
Little leaven.
Yeah. And all Esau did was extracted Eve from that order and exalted her and made her a goddess in this society, man.
Now the nation of Israel can't function.
Yeah, through. You see?
I run a Harvard.
Yep.
I'm tired of the world.
I got one that one. You got it. Isaiah chapter 43, verse 7. Yep. Even everyone that is called by my name, for I created him for my glory. I created him for my glory, man. Beginning with Yahweh Shai, and Yahweh Shai created those first fruits. And that's why Yahweh Shai went so hard, to redeem those first fruits back, because he created those spirits, for a particular purpose. You gotta think, the 144,000 is with Yahweh Shai back there creating everything. So he made those spirits specifically, all right, to serve right under him. Just like the Most High created Yahweh Shai to serve right up under him, man. You see? So that's why Yahweh Shai went so hard, because he wanted those spirits back in order. All right, and he knew the glory that came from those men, those spirits that he created, those first fruits being back in order, man. All right, that's why you're gonna have paradise again in the earth, immortality. We're going back to that first estate, Get that in St. John, I think like the last
St. John 17, like the last 3 verses, bro. You got it, bro.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 8, verse 1.
Yep.
Wisdom reacheth from one end to another mightily,
Yep.
and sweetly doth she order all things.
And sweetly does she order all things. This wisdom is putting back households together, putting men, giving men a structure and a standard to make decisions in the day to day. This wisdom is ordering that. Even like when you go through the YouTube, like this, the wisdom is reaching there. You got men in Iran, London, brothers in Japan and Italy, but it's the same wisdom that's going throughout the earth and ordering everything right. Now these men are back on their purpose. Through what? This wisdom. You know, you have even a few women that's getting back to their purpose. Why? Because the wisdom is ordering everything right.
I'm sorry, but I didn't mean to interject, but like I heard this guy make this analogy. It was like you might look at something, you might think it's aqua.
Yeah.
If you take a fish outside of this water,
Yeah.
it's gonna be flapping and stuff. It's
Yeah.
aqua.
Yeah.
But when you put it in its perfect element in its right order, then you see its ingenuity.
It's grace.
It's grace.
Yeah.
It's all about certain fish. If you into aquariums, that fish just swims with a certain grace about it, man. But you got certain women, they've woken up back to their nationality and making oils,
Yep.
making candles,
Beard
oils,
body lotion,
body lotion, they're making garments.
garment,
They're in their element.
Yep.
It's a science to nourishing children.
and to show you like how even Israelite women, you know, how they have their special portion, even the Most High, is because you got sisters that you can close your eyes and anything you think of, she can make it a garment.
Yep.
That's the creativity, you know, because the truth talk about the sons and daughters, you know. So once you get that order back together, that's a powerhouse. That's what Esau hate.
Yep.
You see, the last thing, the only thing this nigga don't push, all right, on mainstream is what? The perfect order of a household.
You know what's heavy? That's the foundation of a nation. And order is the skeleton of a body. Like, it's the body of your house side. But the way you uphold that body is the order. Like I said, your body is the reason why you can stand straight because of the infrastructure within your body, your skeletal system, man.
Yep.
But if you break down that skeletal system, the body doesn't stand, man. I had to put 1 Corinthians 14 and 40. Let all things be done decently and in order.
Let all things be done decently in order. And the Most High is establishing what? Order, man.
Yep.
You know? This is what we're seeing being established in the earth. What's that in Psalms 50 and 20? You get them by shot?
Yep.
You know? This is what's happening, man. And see, this is why Esau is fast tracking his plan. Because he's seeing we getting back in order. You see, and he know that, and these elites can feel they heavy into the left hand side. So they know, all right, these different frequencies is changing in the earth, man, because Israel is getting in order, man. You know? Yeah, bro.
All right, Psalms 50 and 20. Thou sinnest and speakest against thy brother, thou slanderest thy own mother's son, verse 21. These things hast thou done, and I kept silent.
Yep, so Esau Edom, all right, what has he done? He has basically slandered the Israelite man to the point where he has lumped us up, you know, where everyone thinks, you know, on a global scale, the average, you know, even, you know, the average person thinks the Israelite man is a deadbeat dad, you know, a criminal, a thug, street nigga.
Lazy.
Yeah, lazy, you know, dumb, you know. He has projected that throughout the earth, man. Like I say, because he is sending a nigga, all right, on the world tour. You know, then all this psychological games, Young Thug, Lil Baby, Dub Baby, Lil Wayne. Yeah, so it's like a nigga never grow up.
And that's
You
the
know?
world's perception of us.
Yeah.
You know?
Go ahead.
Verse 21. These things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such as one as thyself.
Yeah, because for a while the Most High didn't intervene. You know, we was given into the hands of our enemies, man. Like I said in Jeremiah, all right? That we will be given to the hands of our enemies to serve in the land that we know not, all right? So the Most High, fulfilling their prophecy, fell back. And pretty much Esau just went mayhem on Jake, man. You know, once that nigga got enough money to come across that water,
All right, he was on Jake ass, man. You know. But now the Most High is being active. Now that spirit is back. What the scripture say, we should be what? Lively stones.
Yep,
Where did
right.
life come from? The spirit of Yahweh shot. We're quickened now.
Yep.
You see? Go ahead.
But I will reprove thee and set him in order before thine
So
eyes.
he reproving you,
Sheesh.
all right, by everyone calling out your hypocrisy. Everyone is unveiling your wickedness, man. You're being reproved while we're being set in order. You see? This is a powerful thing, all right, Israel being back in order, man, being in the right spirit. This is what should be at the forefront of what we're teaching, man. I ain't got time to drop no album. No, you have brothers and sisters getting in order, all right? I ain't got time to no damn reality show, you know, a dance contest. No, man, that goofy shit, that's the shit of the world. That's what we are mastering that. Niggas done rapped enough to the point where it's trash now. Nigga ain't, what else can a nigga say?
Yep. You oversaturated yourselves in nigga culture.
That's why it's mumble rap now.
Yeah, he got nothing to say. That's how I ran the words, man.
Nigga done stole all the bricks.
Yeah.
Nigga done shot everybody. Who living? See, all the niggas that got shot, who, shit, niggas shouldn't even exist.
You fucked everybody, baby mama, so like, what else?
Goddamn.
No more females.
You know? Yeah. The Ferrari, it's the same car.
Yep.
That shit, they go, you know, the year change, the same goddamn car, man.
Same model, shape, everything.
Yeah.
Jordan, same shoes.
Yeah, nigga changed it. Esau changed the spoiler and say 2022. You know, 2022.
Said they being corrected and we being set up.
Yep.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 6 and verse 4. We'll begin at, I start at the top. Here therefore, this is verse 1. Here therefore, O ye kings, to understand, learn ye that be judges of the earth.
Yep.
Ye that be judges of the ends of the earth.
Yep, he that be judges of the ends of the earth, man. You see, the Most High in the scriptures, he'll speak, you know, to these heathen nations, but he know they ain't gonna get right. Even in Wisdom of Solomon, he said, you know, he chastened them little by little, giving them place of repentance. Talking about those Canaanites that was in the land, but he knew that what their malice was bred in their heart. You see? So the Most High throw it out there, but he know these heathen nations not gonna do right with their rulership, man. That's why he's prepping his sons, man. Yeah. That's why Israel has the last rulership, because this is it.
Yeah, a point you made a while back, like the vision with the four beasts.
Yep.
But why are these other nations referred to as beasts?
Yep.
Because of their nature.
Yep.
They have a beastly nature. So, you know, you have to tame a beast. So the Most High said he let those beasts have a little pagan, heathenistic rulership, but the end result was, no, Yahweh Shah was going to subdue these kingdoms and put us over them.
Yep.
You know?
It's crazy. You say, ye that be judges of the ends of the earth, showing something about the elite.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
Give ear, you that rule the people, and glory in the multitude of nations. For power is given you of the Lord, and sovereignty from the highest.
Yep.
Who shall try your works and search out your counsels.
Woo! Shall search out your counsels, man. And what's been found out that you are anti-Messiah, man.
Yep.
All right, you are against righteousness, man. You know, everything, man. The infrastructure, everything goes back to some damn pagan deity. Baphomet. You got these goddamn what you call them, obelisks every goddamn where. These skyscrapers ain't nothing but goddamn, you know,
Caves.
Yeah, caves and goddamn
those obelisks too.
Yeah, obelisks, man.
Oh, yeah, Dixon Caves.
Erection. This all, I think that Greek god Pan, he was supposed to be the Greek god that walked around with an erection all day.
That's why it's so high in the fucking sky.
Yeah.
And that's a good point, man. Everything is like these gargoyles, these eagles, these owls.
There's gargoyles up there.
Yeah. Then you got 2/3 of our people. You can't watch a rap video without seeing some Masonic stuff, man.
Yeah. Everything go back to the some type of sexual ritual. Even like basketball, like the ball in the hole.
Yep.
Even you look at how the free throw line is made and how it got the head at the top. All right.
Yep.
You touchdown, you scored. All right. You in the end zone.
You keep the ball through the field goal.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. This nigga, this is the freakiest nigga ever, man.
But you know what? That goes back to that Mondo magic.
Yeah.
Right?
They could have got it from him.
They got that from Ham, man.
Yeah.
Ham was the first practitioner of Satanism.
Yeah.
And Satanism, that's why Aleister Crowley, he was all about sex rituals, sex magic. I saw like part of the movie, it was a movie dedicated to Aleister Crowley, right? And he had a seminar. But you know, Aleister Crowley, he started masturbating a dude like in class. And he knew there was some type of power on the left-hand side through Satanism, man. You know? Freaky dicky shit. That's why really, the most I was, see, that's why, hey man, the brothers, hey man, the spirit is beautiful, the brothers are beautiful, man. Hey, sex was never supposed to be a sport. That's why they said I would set them in order before thine eyes, and I would basically put the earth back in order.
Yep.
Sex was a beautiful thing that happened between the man and the woman to help them build their nation. It was never supposed to, you get on birth control, take these contraceptions, and because you're free, you're single, you can date whoever you want to date.
Yep.
So they call it chambering.
Yep.
You know?
That Brittany Renner spirit.
Yeah, man. You know that's Satanism?
Yep.
Going up to your own devices, that's Satanism.
And a lot of these things are ritual, like, you know, the elder brother of Power Corn, I've been watching a lot of his videos lately, man, and like, he going to like the shit that you see on the porn, those are rituals that they do secretly, but they just normalize it now. You know, like the different type of, you know, the way the man ends the scene, you know, those are like those humiliation rituals. You see? Those humiliation sex rituals.
Hey, that's why it's filmed.
Yeah.
I just never thought. That's why it's filmed, though.
It's a humiliation ritual. You know?
Those gaggers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see? So he's like, because we all, cause pretty much when you especially our generation, our perspective with sex is from porn.
Yep.
Like everything you do with sex, you imitate the porn.
Yep.
All right? Like if you see, you know, our text threads, so special back in the day, but hey, all that shit come from what? You know, from Esau and these enchantments, man. These are rituals. That's why I say, well, he gonna read it again about the council.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, verse 3. For power is given you of the Lord, and sovereignty from the highest, who shall try your works and search out your counsels.
And search out your counsels, man. So everything that we're saying is pretty much satanic. Everything that's being shoved down your throat goes back to Satanism, man.
And everything you do, it emits an energy.
Yep.
So everything you've named with the building structure, all right, everything goes back to sex. Now the earth is under the vibration of Satan. Get that one rapper, he was like the earth is under a spell.
Yep.
The way things are is not natural. Like the way that the movement is, we're really living in Satan.
Yep.
Like the whole, like that's why you have television. Can you imagine life not having the media? Like imagine life if you didn't know what a television was.
Yep.
You didn't know what the internet was or a smartphone was. Our minds would be different, man. The whole earth is under the vibration of Satan, man.
That's why that's why you have to be born again, man.
Yep.
And that's why this wisdom, all right, is training us up, man. You see? Go ahead. And Yahweh Shah prayed for that, man. You see? That's why Yahweh Shah prayed for us to rise above this shit, man. That's why anybody that still is on that street culture or that American dream, all right, it's starting to look very foolish, man. Because this place is breaking. People, you know, especially niggas talking like nothing is happening, man. Why? Because their mindset is forwarding themselves within the doctrine that has been shoved down their throat, man. Go ahead.
And it's John 17 and 20.
Yep.
They to pray for these alone.
Yep.
But for them also which should believe on me through the word.
And this is what Yahweh Shah prayed for. He prayed for the prophets, and he prayed for those that would believe the prophets. So he prayed for the elect. You know, not these alone, but those that would believe them through, all right, the words. You see? Yahweh Shah was all about restoring the nation. Because even, real quick, get, what's that, Matthew 9 and I think 36.
Yeah, it's spirit. I just pulled up 9 and 41.
Yeah.
Matthew chapter 9, beginning at verse 36. And he took a child and set him in the midst of them. And when he had taken him in his arms, he said unto them,
Whosoever shall receive one of such children in my name receiveth me.
Yep, go ahead.
And whosoever shall receive me receiveth not me, but him that sent me.
Yeah, so Yahweh Shai, all right, he knew, all right, that our people, all right, needed what, man? All right, they needed leaders. And he understood that in order for our people to be taught, you know, they had to be born again because what? We would be filled with so much filth, man. You see, go ahead.
If I can make a point, that's how, the men of Israel, that's how the elect in particular, they follow the land whithersoever he goeth. You follow the instruction of the book, but you follow it, through leaders, because you didn't get it by yourself. All right, let me jump down to 41. For whosoever should give you a cup of water to drink in my name, because you belong to a Mashiach, verily I say unto you, he should not lose his reward.
Yep. So you got helps, of the prophets, and it's whatever you do, man, whether you send alms, whether you just, have your prayers, you see, but you see the vision, you see what we see, and you have modeled your life, all right, based on the wisdom of the scripture, man. You see? But the elect is walking towards the same, all right, end game, man, and that's a righteous rulership, man. Yahweh Shai bringing the throne of David to the earth, man, and ruling in righteousness, man. What's that, pray for the harvest, send more teachers.
Send forth laborers. Matthew 9 and 38. Pray ye therefore, start at 37.
Yeah, 37.
Matthew 9:37. Then said he unto his disciples, the harvest truly is plenteous, but the laborers are few.
Yep.
Pray ye therefore.
Yeah, 36. Yeah.
Matthew 9:36. But when he saw the multitudes, he was moved with compassion on them, because they fainted and were scattered abroad as sheep having no shepherd.
They were through. Yahweh Shai looking at Jake in the Roman Empire, because he's seeing the same thing we were seeing, just with less technology, man. All right? Jake was all about sports. Jake was into orgies. Jake was into idol worship. Jake was worshiping women. All right? Jake was being, a nigga, man. Yahweh Shai was seeing all these things, and he was looking on me like, these people have no leadership. The scribes and Pharisees, they'll tell the people, they'll burden the people with the law, because them niggas were so wicked, they were adding things to the law to make it more undoable. You see? But they were saying those things, and they weren't doing themselves. They was parlaying with the Roman government, man. All right? Caiaphas, these guys was living in palaces and mansions, man. You see? But meanwhile, they'll present themselves to Israel, all right, as if they're holding them out. So Yahweh Shai was like, these people ain't got no leadership, man. You see? And that's why he's raising up leaders now, man. To lead Israel in the right way. Go ahead.
Then said he unto the disciples, the harvest truly is plenteous, but the laborers are few.
The harvest is plenteous, but the laborers are few. This is a labor, all right? When you're restoring something, that's a labor. If you have to restore an actual building that has been destroyed, that's a labor, all right? That means men have to show up to the job, all right, consistently to what? To build up until the job is done. You see, even when you go to the time of the second temple, all right, what is Zechariah? When he said, is it now time for you to lay up in thy sealed houses and the Lord house lay waste? And you see, you need laborers to build back the nation into what? A right mindset towards Yahweh Shema Shai.
Pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest, that he would send forth laborers into his harvest.
Yep, so we in the time frame now where we are laboring, all right, in the Lord's field, which is what? The elect of Israel, man. So this is where we at, man. Yahweh Shema Shai is building his nation from the ground up, beginning with the men, all right, the leaders, all right, and then the believers, falling in, all right, within their lot, man.
All right. Hey, well, and with that, we hope you brothers and sisters were edified. Once again, we want to give all honor and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakadash.
Number honor to our elder apostles, elder bishops, the great millstone rule well. Peace and blessing to the house of David the elect. A ball. Come out, shalom.
Come out, shalom.
I wish my shot broke a thumb, shalom.
Shalom.
Let's get for you, brother.